Welcome, welcome, welcome to this edition of Sagionic 1027. We are so glad that you decided to join us today. And with us, I have another one of those stars, another one of those guests. Today, my guest is Tarah Reed, and she has quite the story as a carrier of wisdom and what it is that she's out and about doing, right? Jesus came to serve and not to be served. And so, Tarah Reed, welcome to our broadcast today. We're so glad that you said yes, and more glad for our viewers to find out. Hold on, where's my professional my microphone? What is this woman doing in her life today as a carrier of wisdom?
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate this time there with you.
So, what are you doing in your world today as a carrier of wisdom?
There are a lot of things actually, but the most important is we are trying to pave the way for our new nonprofit, Northwest Collaborative, to be able to continue to expand and be able to serve those who are just in need of a little bit of extra help and assistance. Our first initiative, our first assignment is called the Shopp, and it's a thrift boutique. We opened in August 2021, and the purpose of the Shopp is to be a self-sustaining business that is open to the public Tuesday through Saturday from 12 to 6. We are donation-based completely. People can bring in their clothes to donate, and they get 25% off when they shop. If they choose to shop, they get a receipt because we're a 501c3. And then that allows us to have a constant flow of inventory, but also relative styles that are, depending on the season and whatnot. So the idea with the Shopp was to be a boutique feel where you walk in, it's inviting, it smells nice, it's, you have coffee and tea if you like, there's a couch for the partner who doesn't want to actually shop and has been dragged along the way, or if the person who's come in and is shopping and just needs a break or a moment, they can have a moment to sit down and relax. But as we're open to the public, the 5 days a week, we're open most importantly to survivors of sex trafficking, domestic violence, and homelessness, drug situations. It's all one big entangled mess. Typically, if you're homeless, you've experienced abuse, and if the abuse, you've experienced drug and alcohol, and then sex trafficking, and like all of it. It's just it's one. Once you kind of get at a level, you always kind of keep on getting kicked lower and lower. And so the whole idea, the purpose of the Shopp is to be able to allow us to come alongside those who are transitioning out of their precarious situation, whether it's they just got out of it, or they're in the middle of their journey, or they need a job interview, or they have a court date, or they literally just left their home for their life and they left everything. So we have multiple ways to help. We have suitcases we can pack. Typically, we work with other nonprofits and agents, advocates who will request a suitcase for a particular person they might be working with. It's hard to shop for yourself, let alone someone else you've never met. But the excitement in that is like, since we have so many different styles, we can pretty much give basics, stretchy pants, leggings, sweatshirts, sweats, whatever that might look like. And so the advocate will typically say, I've got a person who is a size 8 pants, large top, size 10 shoes. They like the color green and purple, and they like a style of bohemian, whatever. And so we kind of take all that into consideration, and then the task of finding clothes or outfits that we could put together for them that might work. And ultimately, my heart was, you know what? God knows what they want. God knows what they need. And so as I, and then my shop manager, Joy Miller, who's a lovely person, she's literally been the reason why we can make it happen. But we just kind of say, okay, we're just going to go, and we send out a quick prayer. And then as we choose the clothes, I'm just like, just hoping and praying, more praying than hoping, but it kind of goes hand in hand, that this is exactly what this particular person I'm shopping for is needing. But then also there's that quick thing, like, because God is a God of details. Right. I mean, if he knows every hair, the amount of hair on our head, he knows that we wanted those pink Puma tennis shoes always, or we needed the Adidas sweatpants that they're the right fit. So like the in my little mind, my hope and my desire, my prayer is that as we grab things, just as we're going along, nothing huge, but we're grabbing exactly what this person is been wanting, or it would be so great to have that sweatshirt or whatever, So that's the suitcase model. But then we also have a gift certificate model where advocates can give to their participants or the survivors, and they can come in and they can shop at our store, and then pick out what they do need or what they are looking for. And so we have a section specifically put off to the side for them that is brand new stuff that was generously donated from Kroger's Fred Meyer's here in Portland, Oregon, and that we can't resell, we can only give away. So they get brand new stuff, really nice stuff. There's sample items because they have to choose what they're going to sell in the stores. And then bras and underwear, and like we're trying to be able to like really come alongside them and love on them, and ultimately give them that feeling of hope and dignity. That's like, okay, I don't know what I'm facing. I don't know what's ahead of me, but I know that I've got an outfit. I know, okay, I can brush my teeth. I got shampoo. I got soap. Like, if you can, there's the stuff that we take for granted. That this is just basic level step one type things.
Yeah. So you know what I just thought of is I have a dear friend of mine who down in Tualatin, Oregon. I don't know if you know her. Do you know who Tanya Kimmer is?
I don't know that.
I'm going to connect you to, because she has something down in Tualatin called Divine Threads. Okay.
Oh yeah, I know Divine Threads. Yeah. Sorry.
Tanya Kimmer.
I know Linda.
Okay. Oh, I don't know what's Linda's last name?
Oh, it's been a while. When I first started this idea, even before I opened the shop, I started doing research to see if there was anything out there, or there's organizations out there. And I stumbled across an organization called Omega Northwest. And it's a group of women that come alongside women, and it's a mentoring program. So they basically come alongside them, mentor them as they enter back into the workforce. And on their website for Omega Northwest, they had Define Threads and other people. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to find out these people. So then I reached out to Define Threads, and then I got a tour of it. It's a phenomenal location. They have so much to offer. It's in West Lynn area. Amazing, beyond amazing. And they only work with advocates and people who apply.
Correct.
So to be able to go shopping, get hair and makeup and all that, and it's like a makeover. It's beautiful. It's a great conference because they're connected with the church. They have a huge sense of community around them, and a baseline. When I started a Northwest Collaborative, my husband and I and another couple just kind of went out on our own. And went forward that way. So we didn't have like a church base for volunteers, or I mean, I go to church and I have friends, but it was more like, okay, I feel like we need to take the step forward. I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know what God has in store, but I want a goal for Northwest Collaborative is to be able to connect with all the churches in the surrounding area, to be able to work and serve together, not one denomination or one.
Yes, that's right. Home. Kind of like where we were yesterday. We're one global. Yeah. It's the one globe, not all these segments.
Yesterday was so invigorating to me. It was so refreshing, because it was like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Like they're, if you look at the Catholic Church, they stick together. If you got the Mormon Church, stick together. They take care of their own, and then you've got the Christian church, and we're so scattered because we have too many denominations and nobody knows what's up. That's and like they do and they don't. I'm not speaking against anyone, but it's there's a lot more of a scattering within the community of the Christian churches because everyone has their own little silos, it seems.
Yeah. So what you guys are doing is so powerful, you know, and I was also thinking how I just interviewed somebody yesterday, and she's getting ready to have an event at where we were, right? Next weekend. And at her event, it is going outside the walls of a church, right? What are the resources that are outside the walls of the church that are needed for women who are exiting and re-entering, you know,
Yeah.
exiting maybe a traumatic situation in life, and I'm doing a play on her doors back there, and
Oh,
re-entering back into society, and starting their journey for what does a healthy adult life look like? What does a
yeah.
healthy teenage life look like? And what you guys are doing is so powerful, and it's so needed, right? I can raise my hand and say, yeah, I was one of those women who walked with the clothes on her back and the kids in her hand, right? And how programs this, I remember going to a Lutheran church getting diapers, right? And what a world of a difference that made, right? Because not everybody is raised with June and Ward, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody's raised in those environments. And even if you were raised in what looked like a healthy environment, doesn't mean you learned healthy human behaviors, right?
Right.
So
Well,
what are the some of the things that you've come into contact with that you're like, okay, we're doing this, but there also needs to be this.
oh, well, that's such a huge long list. One of the reasons why I felt like the name of our nonprofit needs to be Northwest Collaborative was because I wanted to collaborate with other organizations and people. Not one person can do this. There's no physical way that one person can take it all on. If you've been homeless, there's so many levels there. If you've been abused, there's so many levels there. Like just basic stuff, like where do you live? Where do you shelter? How do you provide for yourself? How do you eat? Like how do you get counseling? How do you physically get help? Like there's so many levels of need to be able to support a healthy recovery, and also to get you to that base level that you can actually thrive in life. Um, One of the places I was able to visit before opening the shop was called Thistle Farms. It's in Nashville, Tennessee, and it is the most amazing organization. It was started by a pastor. Her name is Rebecca. Can't remember her last name right now. That's awkward. But Thistle Farms, it's in Nashville, Tennessee, and the concept there was is was and is that the women need to be able to provide for themselves.
Yeah.
The women on the street, the ones who are hooked on drugs or prostituting or being exploited, whatever it is, they need to be able to provide for themselves. And a lot of the times, if a woman has been exploited or been a prostitute and someone's been controlling that, if they get away, then what do?
Yeah.
They don't have a trade. They don't have a way. They're not going to go get a job. They're like, yeah, I've been working the streets. Well, yeah, there's a lot of skills there, but maybe not necessarily a 9 to 5 type of a job.
Yeah.
Plus all the
Yeah.
trauma things there. So what Rebecca had done, she's a pastor, she started noticing these women on the streets, and so she's like, they need to be able to sell things. And so she started, and I'm probably just mucking up the whole story, but she started helping them create candles, scented candles with essential oils and lotions and like, scrubs so that they could actually have a tangible item to sell instead of their body.
Uh-huh.
And so they gave them a sense of dignity. But then one step led to another, realizing, well, they need counseling, they need medical needs, they need a roof over their head. If they don't have a roof over their head, how are they going to be able to get through the next day? And so basically over 25 years, it's grown to be the most amazing organization. They have five homes for women. They work really closely with the incarceration factor in the Nashville area. They work with survivors. They work with advocates. They have a 6-month it's an 18-month program. The 6 months is healing, AA meetings, counseling, medical, all the stuff that kind of give you back to your baseline, depending on the trauma and where that person is at. And then at the 6-month mark, then they can start working. And the jobs they have, the job training, they have a warehouse that makes oils, essential oils, lotions, candles, really amazing quality items. So they have different levels of skill. So can you pour a candle? Can you push, pack up a box? Can you, literally, depending on the position or the health and mental stability of the actual woman, there are different jobs for them. And then they can build their confidence and move forward and they're still going to their meetings, they're still doing the support, they're living in a house with other women, they're learning how to get along. There's constantly this always flowing of everything. They also have a cafe, and so they have ability to be servers or cook. When I say amazing, it's amazing. I did a 3-day workshop there, and the CEO basically said, he's like, what you see now, it looks beyond perfect, but it's taken us 20-something years to get here. So just know that it looks amazing, but it hasn't always been this amazing, and we still have a lot of hiccups. So he was very transparent and very real as to their journey and where they've gotten. And it was very, I was so inspired by it to the point I want to do something like that. I want to be able to do a full wraparound service, be able to come alongside these women and men who have just been obliterated in their confidence and be able to give them the steps and to be able to heal and be able to come into the role and the purpose has designed and created for them, that they just had an interruption in their process,
Absolutely.
So who knows? It just takes money and people. It's nothing that God can't take care of,
That's right. Because people are always wanting to help someone else, because when you help someone else, that's where, truth be told, there's significance that you develop over your own life. But if we play me, myself, and I and focus on us, right? My needs, my wants, my desires, you're going to be left wanting on a regular basis. But as soon as you turn outwards and you begin to invest into other people, that is truly when you feel like the feelers, right? You feel significant because you're doing something that's making a difference in someone else's life.
Yeah. The other place that was a source of inspiration for me was the Dream Center that's located in LA and Arizona, and that was actually based out of a church and the congregation and the support system, and their whole approach is a wraparound. They deal with the single mom, the veterans, the children who are just needing to get their GED, homeless, drugs. Literally, they have in LA, they've taken over a hospital, and every level has a different focus. And it's phenomenal. But in their networking in the Dream Center, they have a national network, just like Thistle Farms has a national network of other organizations that are similar or are along the same lines, similar, whatnot. But in both those networks, the Dream Center and then also Thistle Farms, there's nothing in the Northwest.
It sounds like you and hold on. It sounds like you and I need to take a road trip.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm serious. We need to take a road trip because Father knows precisely where the geographical location is already, right? It is we don't have to say, okay, we're going to have a fast for 30 days and have a prayer meeting. No, it is his will to have a said space, right? It is his will to have the buildings, plural. It is his will to take people out of these situations. That is his will, right? Yeah. Just like, women are pregnant. Well, let me pray and think if we're supposed to have this baby delivered. Oh, no, the baby is supposed to be delivered because the baby is coming out.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of the building that we're in now, it's a mixed-use building. My family, my husband's father bought it in the 90s, I want to say, and it used to be a dairy, and he created it into mixed-use building. So the ground floor is commercial, and then above it is apartments. So I don't remember how many units it is, but it's the perfect combination. We're in the core of Northeast Portland. We're on MLK Boulevard. There's a bus line. We're hop and a skip away from downtown. this building, I'm almost so beyond confident that this is a really genuine location for a real big purpose. I don't know how it's going to look, but to be able to have started a shop here and have our office for the Northwest Collaborative here is a good start.
That's right. That's amazing. Amazing. And I'm older than you because I'm 55. But back in my day, there was a commercial, the Fabergé commercial, that said they'll tell two friends and so on and so forth. And everybody just kept growing. And my friend disappeared for a minute, but I'm sure she's going to come back. She went black for a second.
Sorry, I'm back. My daughter was calling me.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
No apology. That's called keeping it real. When the kids need the mom, they need the mom now.
Well, she had to make up a test today, and then she said she'd call me or text me when she's done. So I'll tell her I'll be ready by 4.
Yep, sounds good. And so I just wanted to let our viewers know, if you want to get in contact with Tarah Reed and find more about how you can help with what's going on over there at Northwest Collaboration, you underneath this interview is the word more, and if you click on the word more, you will find out information on how to access her, the location of the shop, even though she told us it was on the corner of MLK. It's on the corner of MLK and what's the 100th block? I want to...
Northeast Stanton.
Yeah. Stanton. Got you. Stanton.
So we're
okay.
We're just north of the Moda Center.
Okay. That's perfect. Or maybe you're like, wait a minute. I have a shop. I have a building over here that, oh gosh, I just thought of another building. Oh my gosh, I thought a perfect location. You and I are going to talk off set. We'll talk off set, sis. Okay, sis, you got 6 more minutes.
I have a potential. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a potential second location that just came to my attention. I'm going to look into it next week, and if it looks promising, I'm going to have you come out and help me look at it and pray over it.
Okay, well, then I have a third one. If you have a second one, I have a third one. Okay, because but if you know how to manage one, if you know how to oversee one, you can oversee another one. It's the Lord's responsibility, just like he called in the animals for Noah. It's his responsibility to call in the people. And as you've been blessed with joy, there's other joys out there too. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so I'm going to need a whole half.
Yeah. So I want you to spend the next, 10 minutes focusing on women or men that have been entrapped in such situations.
You want me to share what I know or what I'm learning?
I just want you to talk. I just want you to talk to them like they're looking at you. They're having a conversation with you. What are you going to say to them?
All right.
They have been like in a commercial dryer, knocked around their whole life. And now, hold on. Yeah. We're gonna keep it real. Okay, so I come from a mixed family, was raised in a mixed environment, but I'm gonna keep it real. Now there's these 2 white girls on this set trying to tell me that there's hope, right? That's just called keeping it real. I'm from the hood up in Seattle, High Point, right? I know what I'm talking about. So what are you gonna say to them? Right? First, I'm going to say, look past the color, because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what people's have been through if you didn't walk in their shoes. Okay? Now listen to the voice of this beautiful heart that's in front of you. Go ahead, sis.
So when I was introduced to what is actually happening in our community, and how intense it was and how it is growing day by day, my heart broke. And that's actually why I started getting involved. I didn't really know how I was going to get involved, nor did I even know what the answers were. But I did know that there's a need for basic supplies. So in this process of starting the nonprofit and gathering donations and trying to really seek God and seeing like, what's my role here? What's my lane? I know that I'm not an advocate to be able to come alongside those who have experienced atrocious situations. That's not my experience, nor is my role. My
Mm-hmm.
role, I'm finding, is to be able to provide basic essentials, clothing, step one type things. So like,
Okay.
as we work with nonprofits and advocates in the area, we are able to help them help the people that they're working with,
That's right.
whether within our own means. And so I think that one of the biggest things is, regardless of my skin or my background or what I've experienced or not, I know that being able to get up every morning and brush my teeth and my hair and wash my face and put on clean clothes is a privilege. On
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what color skin you are, it doesn't matter anything. That's just basic human decency privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And so my heart was to be able to offer that to everyone, to be able to give them not just a hand me out or like whatever left over in that box over there, but actually hand picked, hand selected items
Mm-hmm.
that make them feel like they're worth something and that they have hope and they have a sense of dignity to be able to hold their head high even when they don't feel like there's an ability there, but to be able to move forward, take that next step. It's like taking a
Mm-hmm.
flashlight and putting it down on your feet and being able to say, okay, step one, I got up.
Mm-hmm.
Step two, I brushed my hair. Step three,
Mm-hmm.
I got some food in me. You know what? Like basic, simple things. Then once
Mm-hmm.
they get through the basics, then they can go to counseling. Then they can go to that court hearing. They can go to the job interview. They can make sure their kids are taken care of, whatever that may look like. And so my role within the shop and our our goal is to be able to come alongside them and love on them and give them what their basic needs are. And
Mm-hmm.
if they have an event to go to, we'll find you a dress or a suit or whatever it
Yeah.
may be. Like I think that there's so many people that want to help, but because I haven't personally experienced trafficking or domestic violence myself, I'm not in any position to like tell them anything different other than what I do know, that we are all children of God and that He sees us past. He sees past all the stuff that's happened to us,
Yeah.
and He knows what He created us for, and that it is an amazing thing. It's an amazing journey. Everyone has experiences, good, bad, and different, and they're all for the reason of the next step.
That's right. That's right. And you don't know this, but you're just going to strategically be placed right next to the previous interview that has to do with People Nexus, that they literally go in and they offer a service for free where somebody can do this questionnaire to find out who have they been created to be, what are their
Mm,
strengths and who they've been created to be. And I love how the Lord sets this up. He always sets it up, right? I just
yeah,
gather the people and he sets it up in an order that somebody could, are you kidding me? Are you
yeah,
kidding me? And it's so beautiful what you are doing. I just, and it's needed. And to, if anybody's viewing this and you're in a really rough situation, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is. And even though maybe it's just, what am I going to do? I'm just going to wake up. I'm just going to choose to get out of bed, right? And then that's day one.
yeah,
Day one is I'm just going to choose to get out of bed, and maybe it's plop on the floor, right? Day two is I'm going to choose to get out of bed, plop on the floor, and then crawl to the bathroom to brush my teeth, or crawl to the
yeah,
kitchen sink to brush my teeth, right? Or go to a local store and use their bathroom to brush my teeth, right? It's literally just taking one step at a time. And life does turn around. It truly does. But sometimes when you're in that situation, you're in the midst of that situation that's so hard, you may look around at other people and think, I want to live in that world where they're living. Well, there's hope. You can. You can. And so, will you bestow a blessing upon viewers that are stuck and think there's no exit out, but you've got two doors behind you?
mhm. Do you want me to pray?
Yeah, or speak a word of encouragement, whatever you decide, whatever it sounds like to you.
Oh, okay. Um, I think that the most important thing for anyone to know is their worth. Yeah. And where the enemy comes in, step one is to destroy our own view of ourselves and our own worth and our ability to believe in ourselves. And then you have people in your life, whether it's family members or boyfriends or girlfriends or whoever it is, they just reinforce the negativity. Because from a human nature, it's a matter of like self-destruction or selfishness, right? Uh-huh. But we were all created for a purpose. And there's that divine plan that might have been derailed, might have been taken a time out or a sidetrack or whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, being able to take the time and find your baseline and find out who you are and know your worth, that is so valuable, and that you are here today as a miracle.
That's right.
Like the fact that you're living, breathing, you get to get up, you get to hear, you get to see, all those things it's literally a miracle every day. And it's a blessing every day, just to be thankful for that. But then ultimately know that there is a purpose. There is a reason for you. And so I would just encourage anyone who is struggling with just finding their purpose or even believing that they have a purpose to actually find their creator. Yeah. Take a minute and get to know the one who actually purposely created who you are. And for me, that's Jesus and the Father. And I feel like having that as a baseline, I'm so thankful for my mom and my dad, who were young Christians when they had me. And then they just kind of became who they are as along the way. Ups and downs, as any person does, but ultimately search for the truth, or search for, my mom calls it the blueprint, the blueprint of life, the Bible, the blueprint. Find your blueprint, find your foundation, and know that there's great things ahead.
That's right. And I have an activation for our viewer, and I would like you to participate with me, sis. I want you to hold up your hand like this. Okay? And now I want you to place your hand over your heart. Over your heart. Yep. Okay, and then I want you to, and then I want you to repeat after me. I am created in the image of the great I am.
Of the great I am.
Say it again. I
am
created in the image of the great I am.
The great I am.
So the next time a viewer is feeling like totally distraught, I want you to take your right hand, and you may have to do it like this. I am created in the image of the great I am. You may need to look in the mirror or the side of a building that has a glass, a big old glass window. You just look at yourself and say, I am created in the image of the great I am. And maybe you may have to say that several times a day, throughout the day. I am created in the image of the great I am. Because that's truth. That's absolute truth. And so I bless you for your work, Tarah. I bless you for your work. And I'm excited because like you and I will talk offset because like my brain is like, oh, of course that makes sense, Lord, right? And so thank you.
The idea of the shop is to be self-sustaining and to basically create pop-ups along I-5 corridor. Because every has advocates and nonprofits that need assistance and need to be able to for us to come alongside them. So we'll see what God has for us.
Yeah, a lot. So I want to thank you again, Tarah Reed, for coming on with Northwest Collaboration. And I want to tell all of our viewers, thank you for coming to this episode of Sagionic 1027. And until our next broadcast and our next guest, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon thee always. Blessings. Bye. Stay there for 2 seconds, sis.
Bye.